Have you ever wondered about the serpent that tricked Eve in the Garden of Eden? What if the serpent wasn't slithering at all? Could it have been a powerful being disguised to lead humanity astray? This question has puzzled scholars, believers, and curious minds for centuries. Stick with me as we explore this mystery together. You won't want to miss what we've discovered. Was it really a snake, like we've always been told, or could it have been something else entirely? The serpent was more cunning than any animal God had made. This serpent didn't just approach Eve, it talked to her. Does that sound like any snake you've seen? The original Hebrew word used in the Bible is nachash. While it's often translated as serpent, it can also mean enchanter or one who whispers spells. Some ancient Jewish teachings even suggest the serpent had a majestic appearance. The Bible later says God cursed the serpent to crawl on its belly and eat dust. But what was it before this curse? The serpent had a mission to question God's command and tempt Eve to disobey. Could the serpent have been more than an animal, perhaps an evil spirit or even Satan working through it? Later in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, Satan is called that ancient serpent. This has led many to believe that Satan was either speaking through the serpent or had taken its form. In Hebrew, this word is fascinating. It can mean serpent, but it can also refer to something mystical, like a diviner. Could the serpent in the Garden of Eden have been more like a supernatural being, not a physical snake? Serpents represented wisdom and supernatural knowledge. After Eve eats the fruit, God curses the serpent, saying, "You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life." Was the serpent a real creature, or was it symbolic? The serpent introduced sin into the world and separated humanity from God. Imagine how cunning and deceptive this serpent must have been to convince Eve to take that fateful bite. What do you think? Could this be Satan's very first appearance in the Bible? Now let's dig deeper into the word nachash. In Hebrew, this word is fascinating. It can mean serpent, but it can also refer to something mystical, like a diviner or one who practices enchantments. Could the serpent in the Garden of Eden have been more like a supernatural being, not a physical snake? Consider this. In many ancient cultures, serpents represented wisdom and supernatural knowledge. They were seen as creatures with hidden power. Could the serpent in Genesis symbolize more than just an animal? Was it a being of chaos, wisdom, or evil, trying to lure humanity away from God's plan? The more we look into it, the more it feels like this story holds secrets that are still being uncovered today. Here's a detail you might not have noticed. After Eve eats the fruit, God curses the serpent, saying, "You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life." But wait, if the serpent was cursed to crawl, doesn't that mean it wasn't crawling before? This one line changes everything. Some believe the serpent may have been upright, walking on legs, or even flying with wings. Could it have been a majestic creature, brought low by its role in deceiving humanity? What kind of creature was the serpent before the curse? If it had legs or wings, it must have been striking to look at. Imagine Eve encountering something so captivating that she stopped to listen to its words. The serpent didn't just look unusual, it also spoke, a rare and supernatural ability. This mystery only adds to the idea that the serpent was much more than a regular animal. As we explore the serpent's identity, another clue appears in the New Testament. In Revelation 12:9, Satan is called that ancient serpent. This description links Satan directly to the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Could Satan have taken the serpent's form, or was the serpent simply a tool he used to carry out his plan? Theologians have debated this for centuries. What we do know is that the serpent's cunning and deception match the characteristics of Satan throughout the Bible. Think about it. Satan is often described as a deceiver and a liar, someone who twists the truth to lead people astray. Doesn't that sound exactly like what the serpent did to Eve? If the serpent and Satan are connected, it means the story of the Garden of Eden is not just about a snake, but about the battle between good and evil. Finally, let's consider one last possibility. Was the serpent a real creature, or was it symbolic? Some scholars believe the serpent represents chaos, temptation, or evil wisdom. In this view, the serpent might not have been an actual snake, but a metaphor for the struggle between humanity and sin. Others argue that the serpent was real, a creature used by Satan to carry out his plan. Both interpretations make sense, but they lead to very different understandings of the story. Whether you see the serpent as a literal being or a symbol, one thing is clear. Its role in the Garden of Eden changed everything. It introduced sin into the world and separated humanity from God. But even in this tragedy, there's hope. God's promise to defeat evil and restore creation is woven throughout the Bible. The serpent may have started the story, but it's far from the end. So, was the serpent in the Garden of Eden just a snake, or was it something far more mysterious? A supernatural being, a symbol of chaos, or Satan himself? The truth may never be fully known, but one thing is certain: this story is more than it seems. What do you think? Could the serpent have been more than an animal?